Hello, YouTube! Or should I say, bonjour, YouTube. I am Pinstar, and I am butchering this intro. Now, welcome to Sidmir's Civilization 6 with France. Yes, I can talk. Episode 10. So, in our last episode, we discovered a brand new island. But before we go into that, I have a bit of an apology to give you all. You see, while this isn't a strictly speaking strategy and tactics series, I don't really have my chutzpah with the game quite sharp enough to call it that. I did make a really boneheaded blunder, as one of my commenters pointed out, and rightfully so. And that is this damn campus. This should have been an aqueduct. Bordeaux is housing capped due to lack of fresh water. Yeah, they have a little bit from the sea here, that's all well and good, but they need fresh water. An aqueduct would have tapped into the mountains and would have given them more fresh water. But instead, I stupidly decided to go for the campus here. And even though this is not done yet, I can cancel it, but it's not going to free up the site. That's there permanently. So that was epic derpage on my part. I should have planned that a bit better. I didn't. And thus I have hamstrung myself. So I must apologize. However, to make it up to all of you, in our last episode, I was hemming and hawing. Oh, where do I put those cities? What should I do? Where should I space them? Well, you know what? I decided to think long and hard about that, and actually did some planning off screen. So let us go to our new island and see what I have planned. Remember these? The map pins. I've put them to better use here. So I have planned myself out two city spaces with our two things here. Yes, technically you could, depending on how you spaced them, have three cities on this island, but I don't want them that cramped. I want to grow these cities big, nice and big. So let's tour the two sites that I have planned here. So the first city center is right here on the thing. It's got instant free access to fresh water thanks to this river here. The industrial zone here is going to be, once the area is fully developed, going to be pretty productive. It gets +1 adjacency bonus for every mine or quarry. Well, where are the potential mine sites here? We got one here, and this counts as desert hills, so one here, and this is silver, which is, by the way, in range of the city. So that's a luxury that will be hooking up, and that's another mine. So 1, 2, 3, 4 mines, all bonusing off of that, plus it's adjacent to the city center. So really production heavy here. On the flip side, we've got the commercial zone. The commercial zone is going to get a bonus for being next to a river, and it's going to get a bonus. It's going to give a bonus. Well, it's going to get a bonus from the city center itself, but it's going to give a bonus to our harbor, which likes to be next to the commercial district. The harbor is also going to get bonuses from 2 sea resources once those are fully developed. So all of these tiles are going to get some sweet adjacency bonuses. And plus we've got the citrus, we've got the cattle, and we've got some really good land here. We got some floodplains over here. This is going to be a really solid thing. And not to mention there are 2 fish resources in range down here that we can eventually tap into thanks to our God of the Sea. Well, get more benefit out of them thanks to God of the Sea. Now over here, city center number 2. Right here. Now, this city center starts out really weak because it's got access to no water, no coastal water, and no fresh water at all. So it's going to be hard capped pretty quickly. That being said, we have a means to deal with it. The aqueduct. 1 tile aqueduct will tap into the fresh water here, and it will then, therefore, be as if it were built next to the river in terms of housing things. So that aqueduct, we will not be making the same mistake. Here I have sort of a penciled in holy site. I'm not really confident about that. That one might be a theater district instead. depending on where I can put some wonders around here, depending on what wonders come down the pipeline for me. We've got our industrial zone, not quite excuse me, not quite as powerful as the industrial zone here, but it does have 1-2 tiles adjacency as far as hill mines here. We also the harbor here, the only place with 2 sea resources is right here. So the harbor would have to go right here. Now, you might say, well, Pinstar, why don't you put your commercial zone here? Well, pretty much every area needs some form of industrial zone to really be effective. And this is the only real place I could put it and still get a lot of use out of it. Although I suppose I could put my industrial zone here, because that would give me 1-2 mines here with these hills. I could also make it a 3 mines with these hills here, but I want this to be my entertainment district because of how sweet this housing spot is. The appeal rating here. Rocky Cliffs are probably the biggest bonus giving tile you can get for appeal once we get to the housing complex, which, I mean, we haven't even researched that yet. This is a long-term thing. But yeah, and unfortunately so you know what? Here's what we're going to do. We are going to rename you CC2 Commerce, because that'll put you right next to the city center. It's not going to get the sweet river bonus, unfortunately. I mean, I could put it here and get a river bonus, but then I'd only get 1 resource. So, you know what? I'm going to put it there. And then we will put our industrial zone right up here. Now, my one fear with this city site, and that's the only reason I'm kind of giving pause to this, is food. I want to make sure I can generate enough food for this city to sustain itself. I'm going to need to be very aggressive about the farms, because these 2 desert tiles certainly are not going to help. In fact, is this considered a... that's just grassland woods. That's a hill style. See, this would be a great industrial zone, except that it's not going to get much in the way of adjacency. Well, although it's still worth it, and then that gives me the extra food tile here. So, here, you know what? Maybe I should put the industrial site down here. See, it's all about planning and adapting. It's not going to get great adjacency bonuses, but it's going to use up land that would otherwise be useless. But regardless, we know where our city centers need to be. All right. And like I said, I'm kind of 50-50 on that holy site. Might be something else, or it might be a theater district at that point. Right then, unit needs orders. What do you got? Yeah, our injured boat here. Well, oh, spitting out even more ships, huh? Oh yeah, we're gonna say goodbye to you. I don't care if my ship's crippled. One-shotted. Well, bam. At this point, we're gonna get a great admiral from all the ships we've been sinking here. Sheesh. And yes, Bordeaux needs more housing. Sadness. Sadness born of my own foolishness. Lay sigh. All right, and well, Bordeaux finished her route. That's good. Still getting over a cold, so please do not mind my voice here. Let's see here. Candy. That's a pretty long one there. Valletta. Actually, since you're getting campus, I'm gonna want to have you talk to and hook you up with something that spits out science. Science! It's a pretty long route. Urdic? Well, that gives +1 science. 4 gold, and the 2 production's always good. So yeah, why don't you go head off there? And you! You, my friend, We're going to go say hi to these spearmen here. Don't want them doing anything cute. Boom! And promotion available. Alright, I think my other ship has this area covered in terms of pirates, so we're going to send this guy home so he can rest and recuperate, since they can't do that in neutral seas, at least not without a really advanced promotion. Alright, what do we got over here? Aha! Now, speaking of industrial zones, we've got, this is going to be our unit factory, but without a factory, an industrial zone, this place is kind of lackluster when it comes to unit production. And actually, this might be a good place for a terracotta army for that wonder, since this is going to be my only encampment city. That might be a good place right there. But first and foremost, though, we need a builder. Because we need to mine up these two mountains so that we can put our industrial zone down here, so we can get we can leverage the bonuses. Because that is given this particular city's layout, that is the best place for it. And then we'll actually start building the thing itself. I got a couple of traders, Scythian traders coming up here. Okay. City Center 2. We'll finish these guys off first. Oh wait, where are you guys going? You go over here. Forgot they probably had some auto movement set to them. We'll have that knight clear out the camp proper so it doesn't regenerate. And then we'll upgrade our frigate, because there's no one else to shoot at, might as well. Naval walls, that's fine. Astronomy, excellent. Okay. And the escort mission. Boom! Found the city. Double-barreled founding the city. Boom! There we go. 2 new cities on the same turn. Oh, yeah. All right, Mr. Knigget. Go forth and clear out the camp. All right, now let's think about this logically here. We can, thanks to our dear friendship with Valletta over here, whom I am going to be insisting that this thing is really freaking good as far as a city-state to be friends with. We're going to want to pump our suzerains into there to make sure we can maintain control, especially over Sumeria. We can buy basic infrastructure buildings with faith. Normally you can't. And so that's a way to get these things developed quite nicely without having to wait for their natural production. So let us buy some things. Now, this place, yeah, only a 2 housing capacity. We need to build them or buy them a granary to give them more housing capacity, just to work with so they can grow naturally until we can get that aqueduct up and running. And that +1 food from the granary certainly isn't going to hurt either. You over here, the watermill is certainly a thing that would help you start growing as well. Because you're not capped by housing so much because you have the natural access to the fresh water, so we don't need to rush the granary. But you are also on the river, so you're going to get some bonuses. Unfortunately, you're not going to get from the rice and wheat, but the +1 food and +1 production, not a bad thing. Although, maybe you want to spread out a little bit more. Actually, no, let's do watermill for more immediate benefit. And then once we build up our faith more, we can buy monuments in these 2 places to get their culture borders popping, so I don't have to spend too much cash doing that. Speaking of spending cash, one thing I do want to do, since they're nowhere near here, is I want to purchase a builder. Boom! Worth the cost to get a builder here. Now I'm going to have this one builder sort of service both of them, get a couple of their tiles online so that they can both start growing right away, rather than just, favor one over the other. Okay, settler completed. Excellent. All right, I think we need to get our holy site online so we can get some more faith going. Although we need it in that tile, and I just spent a whole bunch of money here. We could build a spy. That'll let us. That will let us get our cash back up, and we can do all sorts of fun and nasty things to people. Yeah, let's get a spy. It's high time since we've gotten a spy. Bordeaux needs to get a library. Might as well use the campus that we just built here. And you, oh yeah, what do you actually want to start building? Well, it might seem like jumping the gun a little bit, but I think going straight into our districts here is the way to go, because we're gonna be tossing a lot of help to these guys. So even though it says it's gonna take 152 turns to complete initially, I don't think it will actually take that long. So yeah, you're gonna go right here. See you in industrial. Boop. And by getting the industrial zone up first, it will produce the production that we need to get all the other districts online. That's why I'm favoring it first. All right, what do you... oh, right, yeah, you actually need to be building something too. Well, you need to get your aqueduct up online sooner rather than later. So I think I'm going to start with that. Although... No, I need the aqueduct. I need it. So that will, once finished, and then I'll get the industrial zone for that place, and then so on and so forth. And you, well, I'm just going to have you just chill out, hang around here. You guys, oh, it's still the same turn. Ooh, what's that up there? Interesting. Another landmass worth our while. I forgot to promote them. Yeah, you're gonna rest and recuperate. Get that health back up. Anyway, we almost got printing here. China's still building new things.
Be mightier than the sword, but maybe the printing press is heavier than the siege weapon. Just a few words can change everything.
I like that. All right, who did we lose? Seoul. I'm not going to fight tooth and nail over Seoul. What I am going to do is, now that we have that, make sure we keep Valletta. We need to make sure we keep Valletta. It's too useful, especially since we're investing in a holy site soon. Okay, now there's another thing I want to do here. We want to go to military science. They have our Guard Imperial, our unique unit. We have to grab siege tactics first, but that's okay. That's okay. Own 2 bombards. Now that's all right. I guess we'll hard research it. As you get to the later game, hard researching things becomes a bit more common. Versus naval unit. There we go. And you guys need more housing. Interesting. All right, our builder here. Well, first things first, hook up this citrus. Because that'll get the city growing nice and quick. And we have cleared out the barb hut. Excellent. Why don't you guys embark? Because that's a goodie hut over there. Since there are no more barbs spawning on this little island of ours, this little island paradise. Ancient walls. Scythia has, wow, he's pillaged an industrial zone. That's gotta sting just a little bit. All right, you're gonna need some more production soon. How many builds do you have? You have 4 builds, so I'm gonna do two here. Yeah, let's get that mountain hooked up. What do we got here? Ooh, crabs. No crabs. Interesting. Well, with enough sea resources, this little Arctic island might be salvageable for a halfway decent city spot. Aha! Okay, so you got your industrial zone online. A workshop would certainly not hurt. I find that building lots of industrial zones across all of your cities is something that you want to invest in down the line. It's just too useful. The production just helps so many other things, be it peace or war. Yeah, come on down. Check out the goodie hut. Apostle, eh? Yeah. I'm not getting into the religious wars here, so that don't bother me. Oh, you have a scout on there. That's fine. Yeah, why don't you just keep going until you hit that? Okay, now you can go industrial zone. And yeah, those two will feed into it, so wha-bam. And then once we have a fully armed and operational industrial zone, our cities can, this city's going to be cranking out units like crazy. All right, let's go around and see if there's anything on the other side of interest. Oh yeah, we can probably clear out these pins now that I've actually placed them. Get that mine going. Get that mine going. Ooh. You know, there's enough sea resources here to make it worth my while, I'd say. If we put a city down here, I'm going to need more food. So having the food, well, we go here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So technically, all the sea resources are in place or available if we put it here. This gives us forested hills, which is good for production. Not so much in the way, not so good with in terms of districts. If I wanted to go, actually, if I put the city here, I'd still get 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, if I put the city here and put an industrial zone here, although I'd have to chop down all the forest in order to get my my adjacency bonuses, so it's kind of a wash. So why bother with the industrial zone? Yeah, and then we could put like a harbor up here. I didn't even need a harbor. I don't need to go crazy with districts on an island city like this. You know, just a city right here. Not a bad thing. All right, well, let's... Now we just need to make our... Oh. You've been sitting here patiently, Mr. Galley, but... Let's buy that. We'll finish our spy before we kick into the holy site. You know, I think I might... Do I want the Forbidden City? That wouldn't be a bad one. See, at this point, I need to turn my attention to, at least for some of these things. Actually, no, I need another worker around here. There's too many unimproved tiles. But I do want to start looking into making more more wonders. Because we're surprisingly low on culture as France, which kind of ties into sort of my alternate strategy here. That France is really a civ that is built for doing the culture victory. We might not necessarily do that.
We shall not cease from exploration, and the end of all our exploring will be...
Ooh, Merchant Republic, nice. Government, Merchant Republic. Ooh, gold purchases. And 2 new trade routes. I'll take it. All right, let me see here. Defensive buildings, feudal. Maritime, nah. Now I'm not going crazy with professional army yet. Ooh, faster city growth on other continents. Yes, please. Scientist points. Let's get our. We don't have the ability to do great merchant, right? Yeah, no. Great general, great prophet. I might actually use a wild card for an actual wild card. What other things? Well, we could do colonization and then just flip it out there next time. Merchant. I need to go back to charismatic leader as much as the gold was nice from that. There we go. Okay, you've got that built. Excellent. And you've got 3 builds. Actually, I might go ahead and snap that tile up just so I can grab it. Because it's a brand new luxury resource. My empire is going to benefit from it overall. Why don't you auto-explore? More Arctic. Now this one, humanism, earn a great artist. I should have switched to great artist yeah, I still want it though because it gives me my chateau. Yeah, I guess I'd do the university here. It'll give it an extra housing at the very least. Okay, Caravel's ready for action. Why don't you explore down this way, buddy? And what's the cost? Yeah, there you go. Why don't you go see if there's anything up there? Oh yeah, I need to make new trade routes. But everyone's building everything's building something important. You want Wales? Yeah, but it's good gold per turn. I'll take it. I pretty much have a monopoly on the freaking whales, which is awesome. Go explore. Yeah, I know. need more housing. I am well aware, game. Thank you. Next time... yes. Build a mine. There we go. Okay, you built your mine, so you are going to be going up here. We're definitely going to be hooking up that marble. I don't think I have any other sources of marble to speak of. All right, you guys can head back here, be sort of our local defense force. Nantes, eh? Well, I could finish building our aqueduct to give us 2 more housing. Seems like a little bit of a waste, but... still not the worst thing in the world. Knight with the charge promotion. Interesting. Yeah, I might be seeming like I'm slacking a little bit on my military, but just you wait. Those Guard Imperials are nothing to mess with. All right, we can set up our little thing, a little something right there. We also have a couple of open tiles here too that we could potentially be developing. Could also use a harbor district here in Bordeaux. Get some good bonuses coming in here. Okay. Let's see. Urtuk. Let's... ooh, steal a tech boost, eh? Yeah. I'm game for that. Okay, now we make the holy site with Paris. That sweet, sweet +4 adjacency from all these mountains. Go auto-explore. I want to see the ocean. See what there is to see, if you will. All right. Well, I think we are off to the races here with our little island here, and we've got another little Arctic island ready to roll here. So I'm pretty confident in our stuff. You guys, why don't you go get that hut?